Batman versus Iron Man. It's an iconic fight, considering that both of them are genius billionaire playboy philanthropists who decided to dedicate their lives to fighting crime and leading superhero teams. But in a fight like this, well, who's really gonna come out on top? And honestly, is it even close? Well, let's get into it. Now, starting out, Batman. And I want to give him his flowers. The guy has trained himself until he's reached peak human physical levels, and then basically shattered all records and became above peak human. He's strong enough to bench press over 1,000 pounds, rip through metal, or even knock around things that easily weigh multiple tons. And Bruce has no problem using all that strength with his punches or kicks. He's regularly knocking down walls or kicking through metal, regularly knocking out metahumans, and sending people flying dozens of feet with just one strike. Batman might not necessarily look it, and he is supposed to be just a normal human, but you can kinda say that essentially whatever Captain America can do, Batman can pull off something similar. Sure, Steve might be ultimately a bit stronger, but Bruce is well within that super soldier range of strength. Same with durability. Batman is much more durable than you would think, especially with his incredible armor. Now, out of armor, Batman has taken some pretty nasty beatings, even an attack or two from Wonder Woman, so he's definitely tough. His Batsuit only adds to that even more. He's regularly taking attacks from all sorts of opponents, some of whom are seriously strong. Talking your Venom-amped Banes, your Deathstrokes, even some much heavier hitters like Professor Zoom, Aquaman, or even Superman. And those last two were either mind-controlled or just royally pissed off, so they weren't necessarily holding back all that much. Batman still managed to survive all those attacks, even if he came out the other side a little bloodied and beaten up. Lastly, I feel like I should mention speed. Batman is incredibly fast and agile, far superior to even Olympic level athletes. Like at this point, normal people simply move in slow motion to him. He can move so fast that he's just simply a blur. And Batman has routinely been able to dodge bullets and gunfire, even if it's automatic machine gun fire or bullets fired at literally point blank range. Batman can still dodge all of it. He might still call himself just a normal human, but I think it's pretty clear that he's moved a little past that by now. He's arguably the world's best fighter, and if you don't want to put him at the tippy top, well, you can count on one hand the people who are better than him. He's trained to perfection, become a master in every form of combat that there is. He can react and fight without even thinking, and is trained to be able to predict an opponent's move to the point where he knows his opponent's next move before even they do. He's an expert in every single fighting style known to man, a lot of other alien fighting styles too, and so he can quickly and effortlessly switch between fighting styles on the fly in order to perfectly counter and take down an opponent. He's been able to regularly fight against some of the best martial artists in the world, the likes of Lady Shiva, Bronze Tiger, Owlman, even Karate Kid. You know what? He oftentimes wins these fights. Like he's regularly been tested by the best assassins and martial artists in the world. Ra's al Ghul and Shiva are constantly trying to test Batman with the best of the best. They usually pick the most inopportune times, like when Batman is off his game or recovering from grievous injuries. But Batman still tends to come out on top every single time. There's a reason why he's known as the best of the best. He also comes equipped with pretty much every weapon and gadget you could possibly imagine, outside of guns and stuff, of course. He's got Batarang, his signature weapon. It's probably one of the world's best shots when it comes to throwing them. He's got some pretty serious explosives, some of which can stagger and knock back Kryptonians. He's got electrical weapons powerful enough to send out tens of thousands of volts, sonic grenades, even knockout gas or tranks that can put down superhumans. So Iron Man has always been kinda ridiculously strong, especially when you're considering that he's just a normal dude inside a metal suit. He's been able to help restrain the Hulk or arm wrestle against Thor. He can match straight up against Namor. He's actually done this on repeated occasions. And Tony has just regularly been able to fight against and casually overpower some pretty strong heroes in the Marvel Universe. I mean, call it whatever you want, but there have been multiple times where Iron Man's injured the Hulk with some of his punches. Same with the Thing, too. I mean, not as impressive as the Hulk, but they have destroyed mountains in their fights before. Even the same with Hercules. Iron Man has just been able to regularly rock these guys and hold his own in a fight. Now, am I saying that Iron Man is stronger than any one of these guys or even on the same tier? No, I'm not. However, I think it's clear that hurting Hulk and Thor level beings is well within Iron Man's wheelhouse, because he's just done it way too many times to discredit. It's basically a regular thing for him across all his armors. He's also very, very tough. I mean, even just being able to fight against all those heroes and villains that we talked about before, you know Tony can take a punch. I mean, you can choose from plenty of different examples of Iron Man taking attacks from Hercules, or plenty of punches from the Hulk, or attacks from Thor and swings from Mjolnir. Some serious attacks all around, and for the most part, Iron Man is able to remain standing and keep on going in the fight. He's survived blasts that shook the whole world or sunk the entire West Coast, taking attacks from Heralds of Galactus or Magneto, amping himself with the power of literal planets. He's even taken attacks from Phoenix and Ghost Rider and Starbrand and Odin, all back to back to back. Tony regularly takes some of the meanest attacks that you've ever seen and remains standing. And that's if he just chooses not to use his shields to block the attack altogether. He's blocked punches from the Hulk, attacks from Ultron, even 1/5 of the Phoenix Force before. And Tony is plenty fast and agile. He's consistently been able to blitz opponents. He can operate in the millisecond to nanosecond range of his armor and computers. Even his repulsor blast have been clocked upwards of light speed. But take that last one with a grain of salt, because that doesn't seem to be consistent. But the best thing going for Iron Man in any fight is just all his weapons and powers. And you know Tony is packing a ton of weapons, most notably his energy blast. They've been able to injure Thor, injure the Hulk, injure Sentry. He's regularly injured or knocked out Thor-level villains. He's injured massive monsters before, and even launched a Herald of Galactus out of orbit, or creating blasts that were felt all over the world. So who wins? Well, let's break it down. Now, even though both these heroes do in fact have a lot in common, and it's really normal to see them thrown against each other, Iron Man has pretty much every advantage in the book when it comes to just a random, normal fight. And that does make sense. They're just different types of heroes, and they fight different types of threats. Batman is built for fighting against gangs and taking on armed street thugs. Iron Man is built for laying waste to militarized terror groups and war zones, and that's on the low end of what Tony is capable of. Iron Man is undeniably stronger. He's able to fight against Hulk and Thor. Iron Man is undeniably tougher. He can survive a nuclear bomb with just 1% of the armor's power remaining. Iron Man undeniably has better tech and weapons. He's regularly been able to injure planetary level threats. Now, you can argue that Batman is definitely more skilled. That's not really much of a debate. But you really can't argue that Batman is any smarter or more prepared than Iron Man. Both are super geniuses and some of the smartest men on the planet. Batman isn't going to be able to reliably one-up Iron Man, and Tony isn't going to be able to reliably one-up Bruce. And that really doesn't work out in Batman's favor here. Because when he's facing off against threats that are just this much more powerful than him, while he relies on his brain and his tech to lead him to victory. But everything that Batman can think of here, well, Iron Man's also already thought of it. Like if Batman tries to go full stealth mode, Iron Man has enough radars and different layers of X-Vision that'll make Superman jealous. Batman tries to hack Iron Man's armor or launch out an EMP blast, well, Tony has already made his suit unhackable and capable of surviving planet-level EMPs. Batman would make Iron Man definitely work for a victory, because he's Batman. But there's really no doubt, Iron Man wins that fight pretty much every single time. He's just got way too many advantages to lose. Now, maybe you want to say that Batman needs his own suit of armor too. He definitely has built some seriously powerful suits throughout the years. Like there's the Hellbat suit. It was made to survive the harsh environments of Apocalypse, and Batman had the Justice League help him construct it, being forged by Superman in the heart of the sun, forged by Aquaman using the density of the depths of the ocean, infused with willpower by Green Lantern, infused with the Speed Force by the Flash, and having circuitry designed by Cyborg, blessed by Hephaestus, and even coded by Lex Luthor. And in that suit, well, Batman went toe-to-toe against Darkseid. No kidding, he fought the Lord of Apocalypse in this suit, and didn't just hold his own, but kinda beat Darkseid. That's just insanely impressive. It's also not the only time we've seen the Hellbat in action. Lois Lane was able to get inside of it, and even though she's clearly not Batman, she was still able to hold her own against Eradicator, a Superman-level being. Batman also put on the armor again in order to beat up and destroy a demon who was about to kill Etrigan. The Hellbat is a seriously powerful piece of tech. The only downside is that it has a weakness of feeding off Batman's metabolism, so there's definitely a limit on the time it can be used before it outright kills Bruce. Then there's also the Justice Buster, which is strong enough to hurt Wonder Woman with its punches. It's durable enough to take attacks and speed blitzes from Superman. It's even got computers fast enough to process and react to the Flash's speed. I mean, this armor was built to defeat the Justice League. What more really needs to be said? But of course, if you're gonna give Batman some of the most powerful suits of armor he's ever created, well, it's really only fair to do the same thing here with Iron Man. Like the Hulkbuster, which is designed to fight against and beat the Hulk. Or the Thorbuster, which is designed to fight against and beat Thor. Or even the Phoenix Buster, which actually did succeed in injuring the Phoenix Force, a cosmic entity capable of changing and shaping reality. Then there's the Godbuster Mark II, which was able to kill Celestials and fight against Dark Celestials. So, some of the most powerful beings in the Marvel Universe. That's not all either, because there's the Celestial Hulkbuster, because when the latest Hulk and Thor fight was so much that it required Iron Man to step in and get involved, well, Tony made a suit of armor out of the body of a Celestial. Or there's even the Cosmic Iron God armor. Iron Man infused a suit with the power cosmic, was able to destroy planets and stars and fight against Michael Korvac in a fight that was threatening the entirety of the universe. So even when you're using both Batman and Iron Man at their best and with their best armors ever, Iron Man is still leagues above. The Cosmic Iron God armor was on a straight up abstract level where even the living tribunal was nervous about him. This fight is iconic because both Tony Stark and Bruce Wayne are so similar in a lot of ways, but it's really not close. You can't take Batman lightly, but Iron Man is seriously more powerful. He's just as smart and prepared, and he'll come out on top pretty much every single time. Iron Man wins this fight, and it's not even close. But what do y'all think? Sound off in the comments down below. I know you're gonna have thoughts and feelings on this one for sure. If you stuck around this long and made it to the end of the video, that's amazing. Thank you so much for watching and for supporting us. And if you want to go subscribe, well, go subscribe. You're going to see more videos like this one every single week. I'll see y'all then. I'll see y'all next time.